Hey all, here at OS Reviews, you're watching our video review of the HTC Re in early 2018. This is a quirky camcorder that the Taiwanese manufacturer came out with in 2014, making it almost 4 years old. The biggest question is, who is this for and why does it exist? It reminds me more of a water pipe than a traditional camera, and its form factor makes it both ergonomic as well as strange because it's trying to target the action camera demographic, but it's not shaped like any traditional action camera, making it significantly harder to mount onto certain accessories like helmets and bikes if you're using it for extreme sports. With that being said, the HTC Re comes in a number of really vibrant colors and has an interesting design that also features a touch sensor where you can simply pick it up and it automatically detects your hand and turns on. It also features a 16 megapixel camera with a wide angle lens crafted by Sony that has a scratch resistant glass covering the front, and there's also a battery that will last you for 1200 images as well as an hour and a half of 1080p video recording before you need to recharge it again. It's also capable of capturing time-lapse videos and slow-mo videos just like most action cams on the market. Alright, so when this thing first came out, it retailed at a rather steep $200, which didn't make too much sense. This was back in the days where HTC released the One M9, and the M9 is known for having one of the worst cameras on a flagship that HTC has produced. So to try and complement that, they made the Re as kind of the secondary camera that perhaps is better than the one on their phone. So that is at least the concept on paper, and the Re does feature Bluetooth in addition to Wi-Fi for wirelessly connecting to your smartphone. It supports Android phones from version 4.3 and up, and works with most Apple iPhones as well. So this is what the packaging looks like. Again, wide-angle lens. It also comes with a few accessible accessories which allow it to be fully submergible underwater, so it becomes a bit more durable. So it doesn't need an external case. It can just be dumped into water if you are going for a dive and you want to record underwater footage. Taking a closer look at the design of the camera in a second, the packaging here is again also very unique, and underneath this plastic container we have access to a micro USB cable for charging. There's also the lanyard strap for attaching if you want to again take it out with you, and there's also a series of warranties and quick start guides that tells you how to set it up. So the lanyard is actually strapped behind this plastic cap since there is no dedicated actual hole on the body of the camera, just to prevent water from leaking in when you're taking a dive. Going back to the design of the Re, again, it's made mostly out of a polycarbonate plastic, and it is very ergonomic to hold in your hands. It's compact, it's small, and definitely a conversation starter and a head turner when you're using it. It can be tucked fairly easily into a shirt pocket just because of the design, so it sticks out from the front of your shirt. However, there is no optical image stabilization, just like on most GoPros, and that means if you are bouncing around or really heavily running or walking, then it's not going to do the best in terms of optimizing that video footage. With that being said, overall it's still passable, and the wide-angle lens tends to mitigate some of those smaller jerkiness in the video footage itself. There's also an LED light on the front. There's a dedicated switch that you can tap on to change between videos, photos, and on the top here there's also access to an oversized shutter key that you can simply tap on once to take an image and hold down for a few seconds to begin recording a video. There's also a small LED indicator that will turn on when you're successfully recording or taking an image. There's a small mono speaker built on in that will beep or chime also to give you an audible notification when videos are beginning. On the bottom there's access to the micro USB port for charging. There's the standard tripod mount, and down below here there's also the micro SD card slot. There is an 8GB card that comes pre-included with the HTC Re, and you can also supply your own. It supports up to 128GB. Taking a look at the Re's companion app using Android, you can see that the motion sensors are working. It's turned on, and this beeping sound just means it's connected over Bluetooth at the moment. And if I open up the kind of apps tray here, this is what it looks like, and we'll be able to see kind of this running log of all the images in chronological order. So some of these are slow motion videos, some of these are regular motion, and we also have images between those as well. It's actually pretty quick to load once everything is fully synced, and there are again a few sample images and videos that the manufacturer has provided us with that I actually didn't capture using the camera. But as a whole, the only downside is if you actually are pulling back videos, especially longer videos, since it's essentially transferring the file over to the phone using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, the process is a little slow. So for videos, recorded in 1080p, maybe over 5 minutes long, you'll have to kind of wait for a few minutes for it to first buffer before it will play back. So perhaps the best way to view back videos would be plugging the SD card into a computer. We've inserted a different memory card, and you can tell that this is the 2 gigs that's available on that particular card. Also tells you the battery percentage remaining, and if I tap on the camera, it's going to give me a live view of what the RE is looking at. So it becomes just like on any other Wi-Fi enabled action cam. You can see it has a slightly wide angle lens, and I can also kind of control it just by tapping on an image, and it will take a picture. You can hear the mechanical shutter sound, and it's overall pretty quick to capture an image. Under settings, we're able to change things like the resolution of the sensor. So 12 megapixels is 16:9, 16 megapixels is 4:3, slightly boxier. Right now we have the ultra wide angle mode enabled. If we do decide to turn this feature off and take a look at the viewfinder here, you can tell that it doesn't capture quite as far into the edges of the screen, and you can see that using Wi-Fi there is still a little bit of lag, even though it's pretty close by to the phone. So again, the process of transmitting data, videos, especially longer videos from the camera to the phone, is something that is going to test your patience occasionally, but the quality and the footage itself remains quite sharp, as we'll show you in some sample images and videos later on. So other things you can do include live streaming, so you can connect your phone to let's say 3G or 4G, and that can allow you to stream videos to YouTube as you're recording it. Overall, I like the companion app. The interface is simple and straightforward, and the process of taking an image and recording video is at least snappy and responsive. So that's the HTC Re in 2018. Surprisingly, it remains a really fun camera just to pick up with you to take on the go and record images and videos on the fly. Although it doesn't have a dedicated screen of its own, the super ergonomic shape makes it easy to hold, and because it has a wide-angle lens, basically you can record most of the content that you would want simply just by pointing it in that natural direction. Although I think the process of transferring out files, especially using Wi-Fi with the apps such as videos, are a little slow, overall the quality of the images and videos are quite impressive for something of this price, and especially now it's a few years old. The fact that it does also support some waterproofing without the need of a bulky case like most action cameras is also a plus. So overall, this still remains a really fun on-the-go camera. It might not necessarily replace a GoPro, which still offers slightly sharper images, but again, if you're just capturing some moments with friends and family for some quick, let's say slow-mo or time-lapse footage, this still does a great job. So you can check out more details about this in our official written review, but for now, this has been a revisited look at the HTC Re. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.